Welcome back. One final segment of the Sports Buzz here on your Sunday evening or whatever day you may be watching this. I'm TJ Walker, joined at Zaxby's with Nick Roush. Having a good time talking a lot of college basketball. The top 16 seeds of the NCAA tournament were released if the tournament was yesterday.
Yes.
Of course, Saturday, February 8th, depending on when you're watching this. Kentucky not listed for the first time, I think, since they've been doing this, which is, they've only been doing it for about 4 years. This is just a look from the selection committee. If the tournament were today, this is where you're at.
It's essentially a progress report.
It is. Yeah, it is. Either you're in the top 16 and you know where you can go or where you can fall from there, or you know what, you're not in the top 16. And in the past, it has been, if you're not in the top 16, you don't know if you're 17 or you don't know if you're 55th. You don't know where you fall. They did give Kentucky fans a little bit of a bone by saying, Kentucky, you were not in the top 16, but you were one of the top 3 teams considered for a spot in the top 16, along with LSU, who lost in dramatic fashion at Auburn yesterday.
Crazy game.
And then Iowa, who won. So, however,
a lot of other teams lost.
Yeah, Oregon lost a head-scratching game.
In theory, if they did this at the taping of the show, Kentucky would be in it.
Yes, they would. I think for all intents and purposes, given what happened on Saturday, I would assume if you're a Kentucky fan, right now you're probably the 15th ranked team, I think would be a fair spot. So with that being said, Nick, you have 8 games remaining in the regular season, potentially up to 3 SEC tournament games, maybe 11 left for Kentucky. UK is going to be favorite in all of those games, unless there's some surprise or some injury.
Maybe not the LSU game.
Except for the LSU game. That's the only game. So 10 out of potentially their next 11 games, we'll say at least 7 out of their next 8, they'll be favorites. If we are under the assumption, and I think this is safe, that Kentucky is currently number 15, I don't think a 3 or a 2 are completely off the table for Kentucky.
Especially not in the way that college basketball this year. Who knows who's going to come out with a victory on any given night. Tuesday nights have been nuts as far as upsets go. So I think Kentucky is going to find a way. They got through the tough part, this 4-game Saturday stretch of road games. They got that out of the way, and they went 3-1. You can't ask for much better than that.
Maybe 4-0. That would be better.
Yeah.
Well, besides that, not better.
You can just.
No, I was being serious. I was being serious.
You
could be a little better, but not much
a Kentucky
better.
fan wouldn't ask for much more. Going into that stretch, you probably expected 3-1.
Yes,
that was realistic expectations.
If you said, "Hey, you can get 3-1 right now, or you can risk it and play it out, maybe go 2-2," you push that button, you say yes.
Yeah, you take
absolutely.
It. So I think Kentucky is going to be a 3 seed at worst, and I think they have. At worst 3 seed. I'm already locking in that 3 seed, and I think they can climb all the way up to it too.
I like the optimism. I think the interesting part about the tournament this year is, and we could spend a lot more time than we have left to talk about this, is I think you have at least 2 1 seeds locked in, and that is San Diego State and Gonzaga. I don't think either one of those teams are losing. St. Mary's the second best team in, I think, the WCC. They lost by 30 to Gonzaga yesterday, so Gonzaga's a 1. And San Diego State, undefeated, pursuit of perfection, they are also going to be locked in for a 1. The interesting thing, though, is probably Baylor will be a 1. We'll see. They could trip up. But they look like the real deal Holyfield. So you probably have 3 1 seeds locked in. Would you rather play a 1 seed like San Diego State or Gonzaga or maybe Baylor as a 4 seed? Or would you rather potentially be a 3 seed and have to play a Duke or a Louisville, which teams that have significantly more talent, I think everybody would agree, than some of these 1 seeds? It's an interesting spot for Kentucky where I think, assuming you don't get a bad second-round matchup, and if you're in that 4 game, you may. If you're in the 4 game, the 5 seed may be really tough. The 3 and the 6, not so much. It may be a year, though, where you know what, I'll say it. It will be a year that seeding doesn't matter. If Kentucky's a 3, so be it. If they're a 4,
still find
so
a way
be it.
to complain about it, though.
No, he said he's not complaining this year.
Oh, he's going to.
No, he said he's not.
He's going to.
He said that he's not. We mentioned Louisville. They're playing very good.
Hey, the Louisville fans can't complain. Only the second time since they joined the ACC that they beat Virginia. The other time being the Mango Mathiang shot at the buzzer. And I bet Louisville fans got a little worried there down the stretch. So Virginia made a run, and they were shooting lights out.
They took the lead. They were up 70-68. Before
David Johnson, man.
Before Louisville, I think, went on an 8-0 run or a 6-0 run.
David Johnson. We've been talking about it all year. You need to get him going because you don't have a good, strong lead guard. They got David Johnson rolling, and he's the reason why they won the game yesterday.
Absolutely. It was a great win for U of L. They're still letting teams that they're better than hang around, which Kentucky fans can relate to a little bit. It's going to be a year of college basketball in the tournament where there's not a team where I think if they play their bad game, they're going to be able to get away with it. There's been past Kentucky teams where they could play poorly in the tournament and still squeak out a win against Notre Dame in that Elite Eight game in 15. One of the most talented Kentucky teams ever. Kentucky played pretty poorly, and Notre Dame had a chance, but Kentucky's still able to hold on and win. This year, if a team plays poorly in the tournament, they'll get knocked out. That includes Louisville. That includes Kentucky. That includes Duke. What a wild finish between Duke and UNC.
I got to ask you, though, TJ, what was a better finish, Duke, North Carolina, or Auburn, LSU?
Oh, that's a tough one. I'd go Duke, North Carolina. As much as I hate giving Duke credit for anything, Trey Jones, who I think is a wildly overrated point guard, what a play.
The missed free throws.
And he says after the game, he says, hey, if you didn't see it, he missed a free throw, threw it off the rim as hard as he could. And he says, I've been practicing that. If you hit it in the right spot, it goes in that spot every single time. Watch the replay again. Do it right now.
It's crazy.
20 seconds, do it. He goes right to the spot where the ball's going to be.
Knew where it was going to be.
It was
That was insane.
So
LSU was almost as crazy because Auburn gave up the game. I mean, it gave us a nice preview for March, and I'm pumped for the madness, TJ.
And for what it was worth, also, LSU gave up an 8-point lead with 90 seconds left.
And
then Auburn gave up a lead. March is right around the corner, and college basketball starting to indicate it. Thank you for watching. This is the Sports Buzz. Nick Roush, TJ Walker.